A few days ago, I watched a YouTube video from a fellow early retirement YouTuber. And what I found out in that video really shook me to my core. And I want to share it with you because it reminded me just how little time any of us have remaining in retirement. So, unfortunately, Norm and Tina, the Norm from Norm and Tina, unfortunately, he passed away. I saw this video show up in my feed, "What happened to Norm?" And unfortunately, when I watched it, Tina shared that Norm had passed away. He had just turned 70 years old. And they're some of the original early retirement and travel YouTubers. This is their channel here, Tina and Norm. It's called This Is Our Retirement. You can see the type of videos that they did early on, and then they just consistently posted and shared about their retirement. And I was glad to see a follow-up uh, video by Tina saying, what would Norm want? Where she talks about this. So when I saw that, it really shook me to my core because, none of us are immune to this. None of us know how long we have. And if you look at the statistics for when people retire, this is based on a Gallup annual survey of economy and personal finance, and you can see here the 50 to 59 crowd. Back in 2002 to 2007, it was almost 1 in 20. It was almost, um, I'm sorry, 1 in 5. It was almost 20% of us were retired. And that number has dropped almost in half. So the trends are heading in the wrong direction, but they're also heading in the wrong direction from a health standpoint. If you look at what the average healthy average life expectancy is by the World Health Organization, it's called the HALE, Healthy Average Life Expectancy. You can see in countries like Japan, Singapore, and Korea, it's over 73 years old. So if you retire at 60, you get 13 years of retirement. But drop down to the United States, and the healthy average life expectancy for an American is just 66.1 years old. That's not a lot of time. That is just 13 months after when the average American actually ends up retiring. That's not a lot of time. I don't know about you, but I want a lot more time. And there is good news because that healthy average life expectancy is at birth. I want to share with you what the healthy average life expectancy is at a 60-year-old. But first, I just want to talk about the importance of our health and making good decisions when it comes both to our health and our healthcare insurance. And for most of us, once we turn 65, we're going to be on Medicare. So making our initial decision on Medicare and then each year after, it's really important we make sure that we're on the Medicare plan. And that's why I'm proud to partner with today's sponsor, which is Chapter. And Chapter is a Medicare expert whose expertise is used to benefit you and I. And I think that's important. We don't want the expertise used to maximize somebody's commission. And the Medicare open enrollment period runs from October 15th to December 7th. And people who don't shop for their Medicare plan each year, we run the risk of no longer having access to our favorite doctor. Maybe they're no longer in the plan we're on, or overpaying for our plan. And Chapter, again, is the Medicare expert that I recommend, and I recommend them because they provide free plan reviews. In as little as 20 minutes, they can tell you, are you on the right plan? Are there other plans you consider? And the average caller saves a little over $1,000, $1,100 a year. That's almost $100 a month. That's real money, so it's worth calling. Call Chapter. Pro tip, they're about to get really busy with open enrollment, so call them on this phone number or use the link below. Thank you, Chapter, for sponsoring this video. Okay, I said I had good news as well when it comes to our healthy average life expectancy. This is the HALE 60, which is also put out by the World Health Organization. And it shows by region of the world. And you can see here in the Americas, while our full life expectancy for men and women combined is a little over 20 years, our healthy average life expectancy is about 16 years, which takes us to about 75. Remember, this starts at 60, not 65. And that passes my sniff test. That seems to be anecdotally what I see. But some of us have more time and others have less time, right? Norm passed away of the channel I'm talking about, Norm and Tina's channel. He passed away at 70. So he didn't get that 16 years of healthy life after 60. And in fact, I think most of us have less than 1,000 weeks of healthy active time remaining once we turn 60. And we want to take full advantage of each and every one of those weeks, which is why it's so important that we think about ahead of time, what age do we want to retire? And what are going to be the obstacles for us retiring? And what are going to be the things that keep us from A, being able to retire, and B, being able to enjoy that retirement? And one of the big things that I see, having been a financial advisor myself for over 20 years, I'm now retired, but one of the big challenges is even when people have the courage to retire early, right? Because it does take a leap of faith. We're leaving a lot of things behind. We're leaving a routine. We're leaving a team. We're leaving being part of a common mission. All of these things that give us purpose and take up a large amount of those 168 hours a week that we get. In fact, even though we might work 40 or 50 hours a week, when you put in the commute and everything else, for most of us, it's closer to 60 hours a week. And then you toss on sleeping time, and most of us just have 20 to 30 hours. Um, that we have ourselves to spend with family and friends and do fun things. So it can seem daunting to think about 168 hours. So if that's you, there's a really good book called From Strength to Strength, written by Arthur Brooks. That'll help you think about how do you transition, how do you come up with a new purpose in retirement. And for a lot of people, myself included, we think we need to have a lot a lot of our time, kind of another job when we retire. What's our new purpose? And thinking, I need something that's going to be 30, 40, 50 hours a week. Having been retired now about 18 months, I no longer believe that. I think if you have something that you're passionate about for 8 to 15 hours a week, think of that as a seed that you're gonna plant, and from that is gonna blossom some other things. So that's one thing is the daunting feeling of purpose, what your purpose gonna be. Another one is switching from a saver to a spender. That's a big one. I encourage you to start flexing your spending muscle a couple years before you retire because, unfortunately, it's not like a light switch that comes on and off. You do have to practice this ahead of time, and you wanna hit the ground running because when we first retire, those are our go-go years. We're likely never gonna be healthier, more active, have more mental acuity. So we wanna be prepared to spend that money. If you haven't read the book Die with Zero yet, that's an excellent book by Bill Perkins that I think you'll finish that book being more comfortable with spending, and then finally, just having a plan, a financial plan, because without a financial plan, without a retirement plan, we don't know how much we can spend. And we're almost by definition either going to sacrifice unnecessarily and spend less, or fewer people have to worry about this, but we're going to spend more and unknowingly put our future financial security at risk. I think it's a great investment in yourself to work with a financial advisor to come up with that plan. If you'd rather do it yourself, there's great software for that. That's powerful, easy to use, and very affordable. The software that I like is called Bolden. You can reach Bolden in the link in the this shown up here. And I am an affiliate, so if you use that link, if you use the code Azul, you'll be supporting the channel. And if you like this video, I think another video that's really important is how do we enjoy the journey until we retire? And that's why I made this video up here. And then finally, I just want to give my condolences once more to Tina from Tina and Norm. Go check out their channel. It's an excellent channel. Thanks for watching this video. Bye-bye.